Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Oluwatosin Oladejo and I film about faith, family, food, lifestyle, and everything in between. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new, I'm glad you are here, and if you've not subscribed, please kindly click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Thank you. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming. I'm really glad you're here and I appreciate you. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about something very, very important. And it's majorly for our single brethren, single people like you and I. It's applicable to those who are probably married already, but majorly this is, for the single. So, um, three very important things that your future husband or wife would want you to do for them, or three very important things that you need to do for your future husband and wife. I'd have loved to take a guess. What do you think those three important things are? Why are they very important? Well, sit back and uh, hear what I want to say. So I really don't know what to be the first on your list, but for me, one of the very important things I believe you need to do for your future husband or wife is to, what's your guess? Pray for them, or pray for him or her. And prayer is very important. I believe prayer is very important. Now, before I go further to explain what I mean by pray for, I'm not talking about praying to know if the brother or the sister, the guy or the lady is your husband or wife. I mean, that's part of prayer, but that's not what I'm talking about here. So let's assume that you already know the person, or you don't even know the person. But first of all, let's assume that you know the person, and maybe you're already engaged, but you're yet to get married. You've started the process. You're in a relationship already with the man or the woman. You know that God is, leading you to. Why do you need to pray for them? I mean, why is it important? I mean, after praying to know the person, okay, this is the person I'm settling down with. Does the prayer stop there? I mean, is it just to pray to know the person? Is there any other thing you need to do else? Yes, it's very important that you pray for your future husband or your future wife. And when I mean praying for that person, I mean praying about every aspect of that person's life. I mean, praying for his spiritual life or our spiritual life, praying for his finances, pray for his health, pray for his career, pray for his vision, pray for him as a person, pray for every aspect of his life. One thing I believe is prayers are seeds that you sow into the future. You don't know what's ahead. I'm not saying you're think of anything negative. No, it doesn't have to be negative or something. I mean, just positively thinking. You're setting things apart down and you're praying for that person, praying about that person's well-being. And I believe that if something you're doing now, it will be so much easier for you to do it when you eventually get married. It will be easier for you to pray for your wife. It will be easier for you to pray for your husband if it's something you're used to now. But probably you're the one, maybe your case is you don't even know who the person is. And I'm wondering, if I don't even know the person, I'm not yet sure who the person is. Or you might be thinking, I'm not even ready to get married. Now you don't need to, you don't need to be engaged. You don't even need to know the person before you start praying for the person. As long as you're willing to do God's will, you can just, as a young person, just commit the prayer to God. Whoever the man you're preparing for me, the woman you have in store for me, the bone of my bones, God, I commit this person into your hands. Whoever this person is, I ask and pray that you walk upon this person. I ask and pray that you make this person what you want me to be. I ask and pray that you build this person up. I ask and pray that you bless this person. I mean, you're still praying for the person, even though you don't know who the person is, or even though, let's say, you're not yet in a relationship with the person. And if you're already in a relationship, it even makes it more specific, it makes it more direct for you to pray for the person. And in case you don't even know, if you're even a married person, if you're praying for your spouse, you're also praying for yourself, because you're one. And so whatever happens to your future husband would should I say indirectly, would also automatically, it automatically includes you, right? And that's why you need to start now. It's something And that's, it's your future, probably your future husband or wife may not even be thinking of you praying for them, but I'm very sure that if you are diligent in praying for them, this is something they will come to appreciate. You don't even need to tell them, it will show. Because I mean, when you pray for people, it really shows in the way you're you relate with them. I mean, indirectly it will go a long way in fostering your relationship with that man or that woman. And not just praying for them, pray for the marriage itself. You know, I said earlier, it's not just about praying to know the person. After you know the person, many people stop. Oh, okay, I already found the man, I found the woman. We're in a courtship already, we're engaged, we're in a relationship, and that's where they stop. No, it's not just no, it's not just praying to know the person. You also have to pray for the marriage. You know, one thing I do personally is I tell God what I want in my marriage. I mean, if you're God's child, you're free to ask God such questions. As I said, you don't have to be engaged, you don't even have to know the person yet before you can start praying these prayers. You tell your God, this is what I want to see in my marriage. This is what I want my marriage to be. I want my marriage to be full of love. I want my marriage to be full of peace. I want my marriage to be full of rest. You're planting seeds in the, you know, even though you're not married yet, even though you're not there yet, you're sowing seeds into your marital future, because marriage is a very important part of your life. It's something you can't just toy with, and that's why you should begin to pray about it now. Begin to pray about your marriage, begin to pray for your husband, your future husband, or your future wife. Don't wait till probably when you get into the marriage. I mean, you will still pray when you marry, but it's better to prepare ahead, to prepare things ahead. So that's just number one. What is number two? What is the second important thing that you need to do for your future husband or your future wife? The second thing is preparation. You need to prepare yourself. So many people just think about the glamour of marriage, the excitement of perhaps the wedding day, and they do not prepare themselves. Marriage is, I'm sure this is something you must have had, you know, several times. Marriage is work and everything. Marriage will be more enjoyable when you are prepared yourself. I'm sure no one wants to marry a body, no one wants to marry a liability, no one. And I think this is what mistakes so many, or I won't say so many, let me not generalize, some Christians make. They feel, oh, if I'm marrying a Christian brother, if I'm marrying a Christian sister, then everything is settled. I'm sorry, no, it doesn't work that way. God will do his part in showing you the person, but you also have your part to play in preparing yourself to be suitable to that person. You have to prepare yourself for marriage. And there are various ways you can prepare yourself. Prepare yourself can be reading books, the right books, please, not sexual books, please, especially if you are not yet close to, you know, that point where you're about to get married. So read books, you know, work on yourself as a lady, work on your skills, work on your, as a guy, as a lady, work on your character, work on yourself, prepare yourself. There are so many things. I mean, there's nothing that stops you from reading books about parenting. There's nothing that stops you from reading books about relationship, how to relate with, you know, probably the opposite sex. And I said, as a godly books, please, not any sexually exploitative books and all that. But you have to prepare yourself. Whether emotionally, how prepared are you? Physically, how prepared are you? You know, psychologically, are you prepared? And for me, I think one of the ways to prepare yourself is to read books, the right books, please. Read books. Read books on courtship, read books on marriage that are not explicitly, you know, sexually explicitly exposing, especially if you're not ready to. But there are some books that, I mean, they're just general. Um, Recently I started reading a book Said to Be His Helpmate, and it was so eye-opening for me, you know, as a lady preparing to become, by God's grace, a wife and a mother. So look for godly books that will prepare you for marriage. Work on your character. As a lady, are you the type that you are, you know, you are kind of lazy to do some things? You know, you will say because my husband is a pastor, he's going to condone everything. That's not even the right thinking. That's not, if you're having this kind of mentality that, oh, I'm going to marry a Christian brother, so I expect him to take everything I bring, or any baggage I bring, any wrong attitude I mean because he's a Christian. That's not the right attitude. And it means you're not even ready. So part of being prepared is having the right attitude. Are you ready to sacrifice for the other person? I remember reading, something, and it says, I know it's something I've heard before, but it said after God, the next person is your husband. It's not like, but in this society we are today, in our world state, always, we have this feminist movement, myself first, me, myself first, my happiness first. And it just struck me that, wait, after God, the next person is your husband. And I just thought about it, and I was like, as a lady, am I really ready to put my husband before myself? Like, I really have to sit down and think about it, because sometimes we just think about the glamour of the wedding day. We don't realize that marriage is also, a place for self-sacrifice. And I know some people want to, no, no, I can't suffer. I'm not talking about suffering in marriage. No, marriage is not, God did not create marriage for you to suffer. But that's an ideology that's unfortunately is being painted in our world today. But according to God's standard, as a lady, I'm not just talking to the ladies alone, but I'm just, being specific here. You must be ready to put your, after God is your husband, you must be ready to please the Bible says the wife is to what? Please her husband. Do you have that attitude? There are some people that enter into marriage and like, no man can boss me around, no man can control me. Some people have that ideology or that mentality unconsciously, and even though they are Christians, they enter into marriage with the wrong mentality, with the wrong attitude. And these are some of the preparations you need to make. You need to work on your character, you need to work on your physical self, you need to work on yourself, you need to work on so many things. What are things I need to adjust when I get married? What are things I need to do? These are things you need to start preparing yourself for. It's necessary. I mean, your future husband, your future wife will be be pleased when they say, oh, this wife or this my husband is, after they get married to you, they'll be pleased to know that yes, you worked on certain areas of your life, as you don't want to be a liability, you don't want to be, a burden to someone. No. So what is the third important thing that you need to do for your future husband or future wife? You need to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. I know this might look, minute, this might look insignificant. I mean, how does it, affect your future marriage? But the truth is, marriage has its ups and downs. Marriage has its, anyways, I'm not there yet, but from other people's experiences, from things you've seen around, that marriage has its, just like every other thing in life, you face challenges, sometimes you face obstacles, and if you don't have an attitude of gratitude, first for the person you've married, it's can kind of create issues when probably you get married and you begin to notice your spouse's weaknesses. And when I mean weaknesses, I don't mean like negative or sinful weaknesses. Could just be things that he's not just good at, or she's not just, used to, or things like that. You need to maintain the attitude of, you need to cultivate the attitude of gratitude. So first of all, you can be able to appreciate the person. This is, I mean, you have to come to the place where you say, the fact that God, led you to me. I'm not saying the person, the person, obviously, no one is perfect. We're all a work in progress. So, but when you have that attitude of gratitude, it gives you a right mindset to tackle issues that may arise sometimes. Maybe you notice that this, maybe the lady can't cook. I'm not saying that should be something you should excuse, but maybe for some reasons that's the case. It will make you, demean her, or when you have that attitude of gratitude that, okay, even though I know this person is deficient in this area, or this person lacks this skill, I'm still grateful that this is the woman God made for me. And that will give you an attitude to even help her or to help him to improve on whatever that situation may be. And having a cultivating an attitude of gratitude can also come in places where probably, probably have financial issues. I know finances in marriage is a very big situation, a big issue. Let me put it that way. Obviously, we all need finance, but let's say you come to a time in your marriage and maybe you're not where you want to be, you're not probably there are some challenges here and there, and you're not probably living so comfortably as you would have wanted at that point in time, you won't start to grumble and start to, as a wife, you won't start to belittle your husband, or as a husband, you won't start to put pressure on your wife or something like that, issues like that. You will have an attitude of gratitude in every situation while looking for means to make things better and also trusting God. So these are three very important things. I'm not saying there are other things you probably need to do, but for me, I believe that prayer is very, very important. Start praying for your husband, start praying for your wife. And I don't know, but there's no way, when you're used to praying for your husband or your future spouse, even when you get married and you have arguments, you have situations, it becomes very easy to let go of these things, because you can't pray for someone you don't love. You can't pray for someone you are having hatred against. Another thing prayer will do for you is that I feel that it will create a medium where God can speak to you about that person, or speak to you concerning your marriage, because when you're praying, you're talking to God, and it gives you that open access to also, receive from God. And so maybe things you need to put in place, things you need to pray about, things you need to work on, things you need to prepare for, things in your future that you may need to work on and prepare for. Prayer opens you up to gain access to this, kind of things, and also prepares you. And so to create a balance, you will not just pray alone, you also prepare. You do your part, you do the spiritual preparation, which is the prayer path, and you also prepare yourself physically, financially, socially, emotionally, in every area. You prepare yourself for your future wife, for your future husband, and for a successful marriage. And then cultivate an attitude of what? Gratitude. And obviously, just some little thing, seek counsel, listen to people who have good mentality about marriage, godly couples. Listen to this kind of people and learn from them. Read books, godly books that will build you, that will prepare your mind up for what the marriage is about. And in everything, just take God along and just trust in that your marriage will be a successful one, and that you would be a befitting helpmate as a lady or as a sister, and a wonderful husband to your wife, to your husband, as the case may be. So I believe you've learned one or two things from this video. Please let me know in the comment section. And if you feel there are other important things, as I said, these are not just the only things you need to do, but I feel these are one of the very major things you need to do. If you feel that there are other things that I need to do as a single lady, or you need to do, or any other person needs to do for their future husband or wife, please let us know in the comment section. And please, if you've not subscribed to this channel, kindly do so. And see you in the next video, God willing. Thank you for watching. Bye.